Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's do the unboxing and have a first look at this Xiaomi's Mi 10i. This is sort of a mid-range Android phone by Xiaomi, and guys, this is a retail unit. I purchased this from Amazon, and it comes in various storages. The base one comes with 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, but this is the slightly above 6 GB and 128 GB. There's also one more variant that comes with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB. This is selling for this specific variant is for about 22,000, but you also have some discount if you have an ICICI credit card. I don't know how long that will be applicable, so I'll leave all the links, Amazon links, in the description. Check that out and use my link. It does help the channel. I have to buy a lot of devices, guys, these days. So let's open this up now and have a look. And in fact, I have to say, guys, the specs on paper look actually very amazing on this one. As you can see, it has that 108 megapixel main camera. Yes, the other last two are that 2 megapixel, but the rest of the specs are actually pretty good. This is the Snapdragon 750G. We saw this earlier with the Moto G 5G also, but one thing to note is that they are still stressing on 5G. Yes, technically this is again a 5G chipset, and yes, it does support 5G, but the 5G bands are just two, guys, not that much. For example, if I recall, the Motorola G5G was supporting 10 or 11 5G bands. So let's quickly open this up and have a look. And this will come with the new MiUi 12. I'm also very curious to see what's the ad situation, because this is not technically a Redmi phone now, it's a Mi phone. So let's see. And we have the SIM ejector tool over here, some paperwork, and a case is there. I'm glad to see that they are bundling the case, because again, I'm seeing some manufacturers are omitting this. So nice to see that they have given this. I'll just keep this also to the side, and let's have a look at this one. I opted for this bluish colors, guys. Let's open this up. So again, it's having a gradient kind of a finish. Let's just take this out. Feels like plastic, guys, back, but it's a very shiny kind of a thing, and I think that's because of that they are giving the case, so they want you to use it with a case. Again, good thing is that they are bundling this fast 33-watt charger within the box, so I'm happy to see that they are giving this. You don't have to buy this separately. And guys, by the time it actually boots up and I set it up, here is a configuration overview. This Mi 10i is having a 6.67-inch Full HD IPS LCD screen with 120 Hz refresh rate. It's protected by Gorilla Glass 5. It's powered by the new Snapdragon 750G SoC. It comes with the Adreno 619 GPU. It comes in 6 or 8 GB of RAM, and storage will be 64 or 128. Moving to the camera, it has a quad camera setup. The main camera is a 108 megapixel, and it's a Samsung sensor. Then we have an 8 megapixel ultra wide. Then we have a 2 megapixel for macro and 2 megapixel for depth. Moving to the front facing camera, it's a punch hole 16 megapixel, and it has a 4820 milliamp hour battery with 33-watt fast charging. So after setting up the fingerprint scanner, guys, I got this additional settings, and again here, disable this user experience program, send diagnostic data, personalized ads. So still we are getting that, so be careful about it. Disable it. I will turn it off, guys. And this does not remove ads, I believe, but still I would turn it off. And even I will remove this glance for, I don't want to try it, because with wallpapers they can push in ads. So I've removed all this, and what I'll do is, guys, I will actually use this device for a couple of hours. And again, this get apps is I'm getting it, but I will not install anything, so don't install this. I'm going to hit skip, and setup is complete. So what I'll do is I'll use this device for the next 10 odd hours, and then actually shoot the later part of the video, and thereby give you a better initial experience of this device. So guys, I've used this device now. It's almost about 15 hours since the unboxing, so I've used it a little bit. So I'll also give you my initial impressions, what I've noticed with this device. And there are some things that I actually liked on this device, which was a surprise. And again, as you can see, it runs with that MiUi 12. That's the same thing, and I've invoke this, by default it does not have the app tray, but in the settings you can go and invoke it, and there is quite a bit of junk that is installed. As you can see, a lot of junkware apps, a lot of games and stuff are there, but fortunately many of them can be uninstalled. But there are some Xiaomi specific apps that cannot be uninstalled. For example, this is Get Apps, you cannot uninstall it. So there are some Xiaomi specific apps installed and you can't remove it. For example, this Mi Credit was uninstallable, but there was one more Mi app that was not. So that's the case. So there's a lot of bloatware that is there. And guys, I've installed quite a few apps. As you can see, I've put my primary SIM, so I've been using it. And out of the box, I did check how much storage was used. Almost about 18.5 gigabytes was sort of used. So that is the reason I say, if you are a sort of a heavy user, then you might have to go with that 128 gigabyte variant, because out of the 64, almost you'll get about less than about 50 gigabytes. Now, another thing is that Xiaomi says that this one actually has that 120 hertz refresh rate. So it does have that. Let me actually show you. If you go to the display options, I've put it back to 60 hertz, guys. By default it will be at 60, but you can go here and put it to that 120 hertz, and I did use it with the 120 hertz for a couple of hours, but I did notice some UI stuttering when I was using that, because it has that thing called adaptive refresh rate, and I think so that's not calibrated well, and because of that, when I was using it on 120 hertz, instead of being the smoothest in some of the areas like UI, it was smooth, but in many of the apps it was stuttering. So I reverted back. Hopefully they can fix it with the OTA update. Next thing that I liked on this smartphone is, let me actually open up one of my own videos to give you an idea. If I go over here, let's just open this one. I want to give you an idea about the speakers. Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's talk about some of the top gimmicks that I continue to see on mid-range. So it is actually having a stereo speaker. The speaker is here and even here, and I have to say, considering the pricing of this device, you can get it for about just 20,000. The speakers are good. You're getting stereo speakers. They're not the loudest, but I'm happy that we are getting actually stereo speakers. Now coming to the screen, it's an IPS LCD screen. Yes, let's forget about 120 hertz, but the screen quality that I got on this one is actually good. I watched yesterday quite a bit of videos, even some Netflix and stuff, and yes, Netflix works in HD, so it has that wideband support. So the colors look very good. So I like the quality of the display on this one, and it's adequately bright also. This morning I was just using outdoors. The auto brightness sensor calibration is done well on this one and works well. So I like the display quality on this one, though it's an IPS LCD screen. It's a good one. I felt that the earpiece quality was actually really good on this device. It didn't have any crackling or anything, but what I noticed is that I have taken just about 4 or 5 calls till now. The other party did not complain about any muddiness, so the microphone quality is good. And if you talk about the earpiece also has clarity. There is no crackling, but what I felt is that even at maximum volume, it is not very loud. It's okay indoors and stuff, it's adequately loud, but if you're just outside on a street or where you want the earpiece to go louder because of the sound, that can be an issue. It's not a deal breaker, but that is something I noticed. On the other hand, the noise cancellation when you take calls is actually pretty good. In terms of UI, again, as I've told you, it's the MiUi 12, and I would say most of the time it's good. On the left now you get this Google pane, so I like it. And but there are some MiUI bugs that I noticed, so minor stutters that I'm noticing here and there, and it might be because of MiUi 12. So let's just wait and see if they can optimize it. And if you go towards the settings, guys, over here, this is the typical MiUI settings, and yesterday I in fact also got an OTA update. If you just follow me on Twitter, you might know, and as you can see, it's still running on MiUi 12 that you're getting, and the secondary patch is for November. So I hope with future updates by default, as you see, I'm using this gesture navigation, and the gesture navigation is fine. I would say by default it will have as you notice that some stutter. As I've told you, in UI I'm noticing some stutters at times, but more or less you won't notice it. I notice it because I test so many devices, and this UI is good enough, but yes, there is some UI lag at times that I've noticed. Hopefully they can fix it with the update. But one thing I noticed is that RAM management is still on the aggressive side on this smartphone. It tries to boot out apps if you don't use it for more than 20-25 minutes. It's not because of just 6 gigabytes of RAM, because earlier this morning I was just using Twitter, a little bit of YouTube. I actually ordered something from Swiggy, and after 20 minutes I just went to that app to check what is the status, and it had to reload. So it's not a heavy app. So looks like this MiUi 12 is still very heavy in terms of, what do you say, RAM optimization. They have to really work. It's actually very, very aggressive. And regarding the weight, some of you have asked me, it's, if I recall, it's about 214 or 215 grams or something. So yes, certainly on the heavier side. It does not feel top heavy or bottom heavy. The weight balance is distributed, so that way it is actually nice. Another small thing that I noticed is that yesterday I was charging, it does have a small physical LED notification light over here. It's just in white color, but it's there. And regarding the fingerprint scanner, here as you can see, we have the side mounted fingerprint scanner, and that works fine without any issues. The back is also Gorilla Glass 5, guys. I double checked it, and it's actually good. But again, as you can see, I don't know, it does not have olophobic coating or something. It's sort of a fingerprint magnet, so best to use it with the case if you don't want the fingerprints, because I just wiped it before shooting this video. Again, as you can see, in within 2 minutes, what's the result? The same case even with the front facing, but again, I think so they have a plastic guard on it. Maybe if you remove it, it would be better. Now let's also look at the camera on this one, and as you can see, the back we have the quad camera set. The last two are sort of useless, that 2 megapixel depth and 2 megapixel macro, you know that gimmick. The main camera is 108, and then we also have a wide angle lens, and I won't get into the UI. I'll show you a lot of sample shots because I even took some sample shots yesterday night. And as you can see, you have this and 1x, and you can click here and you can go to 2x, and it does a actually decent job because it has that high resolution. But by default, guys, it won't shoot at 108 megapixel. It's doing pixel binning, so 108 divided by 9, so it's actually 12 megapixel shots that it's taking. And front facing camera was surprising. Actually, I got some pretty good shots. So let me do one thing. Let me actually show you the samples taken with this one. These outdoor samples were taken with the rear facing camera, and as you can see, it does actually a pretty good job. Even in terms of color reproduction, the color reproduction was good. This was a wide angle lens, and here I used the digital zoom. And again, as you can see, outdoor shots in natural lighting actually come out to be really good with this one. Now moving to indoor lighting, this is indoor lighting conditions, and here I felt it did an okay job. At wide angle, it loses a little bit. This is sort of dull lighting, and here you can definitely notice the softness in the picture, and I would not recommend using the wide angle lens. This was in the night mode, and the night mode is not super effective, as you can see. And these were again some of the samples taken outdoors, and there, if it's sufficient light, it does a good job. But portrait mode does a lot better. Wide angle, again, I would not recommend. One more sample. This isn't actually good lighting, but still I would say the portrait did a lot better. Now moving to the front facing camera, again indoor lighting, here it actually surprised me, and even the portrait mode works very well. Recording this sample video with the front facing camera of this Mi 10i, and as you can see, guys, I'm recording this at night, completely artificial lighting conditions, and I'm actually surprised with the front facing camera's performance. Even as you can see, this is night. It's actually doing a much better job, I would say, in low lighting compared to the rear facing 108 megapixel camera. Now I'm in this area where there's almost hardly any light, and then also looks like it's doing a pretty good job. So what do you guys think about the front facing camera of this Mi 10i? So guys, these are my quick initial impressions about the Mi 10i, and certainly a pretty good device that we are getting from Xiaomi. The hardware specs are actually good on this one, but I feel Xiaomi still needs to do a little bit of optimization, because I've noticed some stuttering, that 120 hertz mode, and again, that MiUI optimizations need to be done. I hope they actually do that. Overall, actually, it's a nice device considering the price point. You can get this 128 gigabyte variant for about 20,000. As of now, that we have that 2,000 rupees discount if you use ICC card on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description for you guys. And overall, a nice device. But again, I want to remind you, if you're looking for that complete 5G compatibility, this one supports only 2 bands of 5G. So you got to be aware of that. And guys, I'll try to do a full review with its pros and cons. Let me test it out for a couple of more days. So if you have any specific questions about this device, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to include them in my review. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. And if you guys are still not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.